Highly pressured lakes, lakes that have a lot of people fishing on them most all the time when we're fishing on them. How do we catch fish on those lakes? What's a couple things we need to always make sure we do? Good morning, guys and girls. November 26th. Reading from a Catch a Better Life Daily Devotional book. It took me a couple years to write this book. You can find them at all the Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. You can find them at Barnes & Noble, Hobby Lobby, Books A Million, just about every bookstore around, as well as JimmyHoustonOutdoors.com. We're reading from the book of Mark, Mark 11:24. Therefore, I say to you, whatever things you ask when you pray, believe that you receive them. Whatever you ask for when you pray, believe that you receive them, and you will have them. So you have to pray with the belief that God is going to answer that prayer. Grass retreats during the cold winter months. Grass that earlier came all the way to or very near the surface now might be several feet deep. That's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. Just the same way that it holds the water a little bit cooler in the summertime, that grass makes it a tad warmer in the winter. A suspended jerkbait. A suspended jerkbait is, the jerk type baits, the long type baits like such, and a suspended one, it goes down and stops, and it doesn't float back up to stop. It suspends, stays right there. A suspended jerkbait, a lipless crankbait, like a Lucky Strike Hail Mary or Cordell Hotspot. A mimic imitator, Lucky Strike mimic imitator, will bring bass out of that grass. Points, humps, and edge of the grass provide limitless spots to catch fish. So that deeper grass in the wintertime is going to hold a lot of fish. Jesus was saying in today's verse that there are no limits to prayer. Absolutely no limits to prayer. Whatever we ask for in a believing prayer, without a doubt, God will grant. You believe that? I believe that. This has always, though, puzzled me as I prayed for many things without receiving them. Prayed for a lot of things in my life without receiving them. I've come to realize that as a Christian, I'm submitting to God's will. When I pray, I'm submitting to God's will, and my prayer must reflect God's will. The things I'm praying for must line up with God. When they do, those things I always receive. I remember a sermon, or I read in the Bible somewhere, that when we pray, a lot of things we don't receive because we're not praying for things that glorify God. If we will pray for things that glorify God, those are the things we receive. Many times we're praying for things that will glorify us, things that we want, things that will glorify us. Dear God, I'm broke right now, and I'd sure like to go to that Crowder concert. Lord, please give me the money to go to that Crowder concert. Now, when I go to a Crowder concert, I'm glorifying God. I'm standing up, my hands in the air, I'm praising and glorifying and worshiping God. I get in the mood really big time with all of those thousands of other people that are glorifying God. But at the same time, I'm being entertained by one of the most remarkable talents ever in Crowder and so many other things. But that's just kind of a silly example, perhaps. And maybe when we go to some people, when they go to those concerts, they may be doing it just for entertainment and to glorify themselves. They may be doing it to glorify God. So I think if you do it to glorify God, God will give you the money to go to the concert. Is that kind of silly to even bring all that nonsense like that up? Well, pray for things that will glorify God. And really and truly, not only pray for things that will glorify God, but everything we should do every day should be with the idea of glorifying God in our mind. Glorifying God. Here's our tip for today. We was talking about highly pressured lakes, lake that a lot of people are fishing on. Fish lighter line and finesse baits, smaller baits, on highly pressured lakes. The lighter the line you go to, the more bites you're going to get. The more finesse baits that are, and usually a lot of these lakes are higher pressured lakes, are around relatively close to large cities, or they're just lakes that's got a lot of fish in them, great tournament lakes, and so lots of people are fishing them all the time. Lakes that have a lot of houses on them, highly pressured. So light line, finesse baits equals a lot of fish. Guys and girls, go out there and have your great one today. And remember, I sure do love you.